Can you guys hear me now? Do I have audio? Yes? Do I have audio? Can you guys hear it? Can you hear me? Type in if you can hear me now. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Yes, good. We're back on now. And now you can hear everything. Okay, so welcome to the Coffee Break Show. I'm Vicki Helm, and this is the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. Now that we have sound and I'm not just talking to myself, I just want to say thank you for that. I pulled up something on Facebook which may have knocked my sound. I don't know, but I have a new book coming out. We're talking about catching up. We're talking about taking healthy risks. That's where I was going. And risk is inevitable. Just living is a risk. Just being alive is a risk. You just don't know when your dash is up between your birthday and your death day. So what exactly is healthy risk? Well, I good morning and happy Wednesday to all. Thank you, MJ. It's so nice to see you on today. Thank you for being here. So when we're talking about taking healthy risk, we are talking about anything, and I really want to get this through people's heads because there is unhealthy risk and healthy risk. And risk, when it's healthy, stretches you. It grows you out of your comfort zone. Unhealthy risk destroys you, and it absolutely can sink the boat. And how do you know the difference between taking healthy risk and unhealthy risk? That is the thing that's so important today to understand how you are going to be taking healthy risk over unhealthy risk. So, for example, driving on the highway at 100 miles an hour is an unhealthy risk. Even though I've done it and I lived through it, it's an unhealthy risk. Any of the risks that are not sane, if you will, is, drinking a fifth of vodka, stupid risk. But when you're going for your dreams, unhealthy risks looks like you have a picture in your mind of what your dream's going to look like at the end. And instead of becoming the person that you need to be in order to assume that risk, you start assuming the risks now. So for instance, some people are hoping to have a McMansion. And if they qualify for a schmoozy loan, they go buy the McMansion thinking that the price of the house was going to go up and that they were going to make a fortune and they'd be able to afford an interest-only loan on their home. That is unhealthy risk. Healthy risk feels like you're aligned with what's happening and you're a little nervous about doing it, but you know that your outcomes will be great. And maybe you don't know the exact how everything is going to go out, but you know the why, and the how begins to unfold in front of you. And maybe you're nervous to take that step, but you take that step and you build that site or write that book or join that venture or start that business, whatever that risk is, whatever you're doing when you're aligned to it. Healthy risk can feel unnerving, like you can be scared. You can feel unnerved, but that's your mind. And you know there's nothing risky about doing that. What happens a lot of times when people get to the point where they're showing off or they're doing stuff that's crazy, like taking a teaspoon of cinnamon and putting it in their mouth, anytime that you have to prove something to someone else, that is unhealthy risk. It's unhealthy risk and there's no need to take it. So today, I want to talk about taking healthy risks and risks that stretch you, risks that take you out of your comfort zone, risks where you're changing habits that may not be as healthy for you as you wanted them to be. And so now you're taking these new risks. Now you're going ahead and you're going to change some behaviors that you were using that are just simply not that great for you. And now you're going to be taking healthier steps towards your dreams, towards a life that you love. Those are the things that you want to take a healthy risk in. And you want to make sure that when you invest in yourself, the ROI, the return on that investment, improves your quality of life. A return on investment that you invest in yourself improves your quality of life. So for me, for example, I invested in a mountain bike because it improved my quality of life. It improved my health, and it's something fun. I love to do it. That is a healthy risk. Learning to mountain bike, getting the right gear so I don't hurt myself while I'm shredding down a mountain, that is a healthy risk. Now, if I'm riding my bike and I'm riding beyond my skill level at that time, that is an unhealthy risk. So you have to be able to modulate yourself where you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, but you're not crashing and burning along the way. Hey, good morning, Peter. Nice to see you on. Really glad you're here. You guys just top in and say hello. Challenge yourself intentionally for good reasons is healthy. Yes, this is the piece that we're working towards, we're moving towards, and we're growing into this right here. You want to understand that healthy risk is important. So for me, I invest in books because the return on investment, whether I'm reading a book, buying a book, creating a book, every time I do that, I am creating a value for myself that enhances my quality of life. If it enhances your quality of life, then it is a good risk. It's a good risk, in my opinion, to take. That ROI, that return on investment, has to be looked at with some reason. And some of the risks that you take, like, I've invested in business and it's bombed. I bought businesses I thought I could flip and turn around, and they just died. And it was a healthy risk to do that. But my ROI for that particular risk was what I learned and what I learned not to do. Here's what I learned to do. Here's what I learned not to do. So as long as there's something out of there that helps the quality of life and your enhancement, you're growing and you're changing. But not every time you get up to bat, do you bat 1,000? So we don't know what the change is going to be, but we know that healthy risk adds a certain quality of life. It adds a level of awareness. It adds a quality to your beingness, because having faith and jumping out always turns into confidence later. Faith has comfort zone fear, and your faith is not always easy. It makes you shake, but that faith always turns into confidence later. Yep, here it is. Peter is saying it right here. Healthy risk taking can build confidence and help teach natural consequences. That's right. And these things are good. So I want to pop over here. I'm going to try and share screen. Now, when I share screen, I'm only going to share screen for a little bit because I can't see you when I share screen, and it's going to look funky for a minute, but I want to show you, I do have a new book coming out, and the book cover just came back, and I actually quite like the book cover. So it's going to look crazy for you for a bit. So let's see how we go here. All right, there it is. This is the new book cover coming out, and it is The Secret Joy of You, Awakening Your Spiritual Gifts and Inner Genius to Live a Life You Love. The foreword is by Andrew Kapp, and he was on the Coffee Break Show. He's the gentleman who has the best-selling, mega bestseller, The Last Law of Attraction book you will ever need to read. And so what ended up happening was I decided that I'd like him to write the foreword, and he said yes to me, but I wanted you guys to see the cover because, I like it. And it's kind of like the new thing that's going to be around. I'll remove this now so you can just see it. Healthy risk like that, where you're investing in yourself and you're creating and you're growing and you're doing and you're learning and everything else. I love those. I just love to live like that. It adds quality of life. Thank you. You guys obviously saw it. Very nice. Thank you, MJ and Peter. It looks amazing. Thank you. I love the 3-color thing that they did. It was really great. A healthy risk is the chance or likelihood that something will harm. A healthy risk is the chance or likelihood that something will harm or otherwise affect your health. A health risk. I'm sorry, I read healthy. A health risk is the chance and likelihood that something will harm or otherwise affect your health. Risk doesn't mean that something bad will definitely happen. It's just a possibility. Amen to that. And that's the whole point of risk. It is that possibility that we sneak out from. Thank you, Peter. That was really nice. Very nice, Vicki. Congratulations. Thank you. It's in editing right now, so it's got another at least 5 weeks before we even see the light of day of that book and all its processes, etc. So what I want to say is, when you want your life to grow or transform, this is the thing that we're doing. This is the transforming we're doing right in front of you. So I am maneuvering what I'm doing. We took the show down to 1 day so that I could bike ride more. We've made some adjustments to how we eat, because we have to eat like real athletes that can go across the United States on a bike. The furthest I've gotten is 19 miles. So it means that I need to be able to do 19 miles steadily for about 3 weeks, and then go from 19 to maybe 30 miles, and to be able to do that consistently. Because when you're riding across, and here's Washington, and then you go to Washington, D.C., the bike trail goes from Seattle, Washington to Washington, D.C. That training for that is something that I've implemented every single day. And I've been writing more books, and I have more books in the queue to write as well, so that I am doing those things that are going to help create the transformation I'm seeking to have. And naturally, I've seen doctors and things like that as well. And of course, because Robin has, 35 years as an occupational therapist, every time I have a pain from riding the bike, she's always, manipulating it so it goes back into place. But this is what I'm talking about, taking healthy risk. Here's the thing. You can take a healthy risk at any age. It is not, I want to say this, it is not that risk is only for young people because they can recover from it. I have a parent who's in her 80s. She has two businesses that she runs right now, still runs. She just started taking her dog to obedience lessons with her. It's like you can reach out, do stuff at any age. The reason I'm saying this is because we think we lower our risk with our age. Like, well, I can't risk that. I can't risk that. I can't risk that. You can risk a lot more than your mind perceives you can, which means you can do a lot more. You can achieve a lot more. You can have a lot more. You can experience a lot more than your mind will let you experience. You are safer than you can think about. And you are actually, that's right. You go, girl. This is it. Let me just put this up here from MJ. Age is just a number. I second that now. I just read an article put out by some science magazine, some medical and science magazine, where they have changed because of technology and how they can fix medical and everything else. 65 is now the new middle age, because we're going to have more centenarians than we've had before. I personally think it has a lot to do with Social Security. It's like, okay, this is middle age, and we don't have to give you Social Security till over here or something like that. It'll change regulations, that's for sure. But I do have a lot of hope that our future is going to be very much built around having these processes that are going to be anti-aging, especially supplements and well-being and exercise. And there is so much happening right now. There are 90-year-olds that are living at home. They cook for themselves. They clean for themselves. They walk every single day. They garden. They meet for lunches and things like that. Retirement is going to be a lot longer than people think it is. There's more time to do what you want to do and take healthy risks of doing that. and learning new stuff. You have plenty of time to learn new stuff and deploy it. Like if you took 24 months and you learned how to do programming because you wanted to become a programmer, you'd still have 25, 30, 35 years of being able to do, you'd probably be sick of programming and retire before you didn't have enough time. So the illusion that you're not healthy enough or that you don't have enough time or that something is wrong there, those are all illusions. Don't you listen to that story at all. MJ says, I believe that people are living healthier lifestyles nowadays. I can agree with that. That is absolutely for certain. I know that. And a lot of that I know because of this man right here. Healthy risk is the dash between birth and death. Thank you. Hey, Amber, nice to see you on. So glad you're here. Great to see you. So Amber just popped on. Amber, we're talking about taking healthy risk and unhealthy risk and, living it and what transformations are happening and how we're doing it. But, while you're here, Amber, I want to show you because Amber got an advanced copy of the book. So Amber, I want to show you I'm going to put it up again. It is the book cover. There's the book cover for The Secret Joy of You, Awakening Your Spiritual Gifts and Inner Genius to Live a Life You Love. And there it is again, because I really like it. I just love the colors, jazz me up. It's just perfect. And Andrew Kapp wrote the foreword, which I'm really excited about. And so there you go. I mean, I'm going to move this off. But Amber, I just wanted you to see it because everybody else saw it before. That does look wonderful. See, everybody that comes on, I'm like, look at the cover. I actually quite like this cover. There's quite a few covers that I have, 35 books. You're like, the cover's, But I actually love that. I love that cover. And thank you. Love the cover. Me too. So, it's got about another 5-6 weeks. It's still at my editor's. She's doing a really bang up job. I don't know if you know Lana Makara. She's a really good editor, and she's also an award-winning book writer as well, but her editing company is just fantastic. Let's see. Thank you. I just finished a meeting and headed right over. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for being here. So yeah, when we get to the point where we're taking risks help us develop, grow, feel alive, have something to look forward to, have something that stretches us, grows us, and helps us have renewed energy. Yes, I just want to put this up. This is her name, Lana Makara. She's a fantastic editor, and she does a really great job with it. Anyway, so we have all of these things that we are doing that we love so much that create a life you love. And when you have that energy, when you have that spark, when you have that piece of you that is that alive, and your happiness grows and your joy grows, you're sending that out to your attractor field. Risk is an important aspect of being human. Risk helps us reinvent ourselves. It helps us understand who we actually are. It helps us know what we're made of. It helps us know that we have more than we possibly can imagine that we have access to. Risk helps us poke potential, and poking that potential helps us achieve our dreams, achieve our success. You see, risk is always an action. It's that first step, then that next step. And every time you take a risk, you have skin in the game. You have emotional skin in the game. You have mental skin in the game. You probably have financial skin in the game. You have creativity skin in the game. And when you take that risk and actually step out, you have to have faith, because there could be a bajillion haters going, nope, I don't want to do this. No, I don't like this. No, you can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do this. You could be toxic in your head. But that's the point of risk. Risk is going to point out what we can transform, what we can tell ourselves. It's going to give us the reason we can develop new habits. Without that, comfort zone is stasis. Everything stays the same. It's Groundhog Day. That is stasis. That, hi, I'm in my comfort zone. When you step out of that comfort zone, it's always that risk. It's always that next action. And the renewing of that action, it's like when you have the discipline or the love or the self-love or the kindness to go that next day and do that discipline, and the next day and do that discipline, and the next day then do that discipline. Discipline starts feeling good. You become proud of yourself. You understand the point and the power of being disciplined. Discipline isn't suddenly this nasty word that somebody is telling you that is like a punishment. You have to be disciplined and not do that. Suddenly, discipline becomes the thing that it actually is. It is a superpower. It is a superhuman power that allows you to transform, create, move mountains, have faith, and actually turn into confidence, some basic goodness and basic confidence that doesn't go away forever. It's just but becomes part of who you are. Then suddenly you know how to transform. Suddenly you're like, yes, discipline. It feels so good. It's who I am and I love it. And it's not hardcore discipline. It's not. It's gentle and kind and loving and fun. This hardcore discipline, I don't even know what that is. But suddenly your attractor field starts working with you and bringing you everything you need in the time you need it to help you create that transformation that you're picturing in your mind. And when we take healthy risk, we have to make sure that, I like Andrew Kaplan's way. Andrew Kaplan does 5 minutes a day, and I've been doing the 5 minute a day thing as well. And I picture for 5 minutes a day, literally just picture and visualize, only 5 minutes a day. But I visualize. Wow, that's a new word, isn't it? I am picturizing right now, visualizing what it is as if it is happening right now. I don't visualize my steps. I visualize from the end point. I have this. I have this. I am this. I'm doing this right now. This is who I am now. And then I let my attractor field and everything else that's divine bring me those things that I need in order to make that dream happening. And it's unfolding at the speed that my request is there. It's going to push you a little bit. That's the whole point of it. You want to be stretched. You want to grow. You want to get to the point where you are making your dreams happen. The healthiest risk you can take right now, and I'm going to challenge all of you to do it, is spend 5 minutes a day visualizing with the end in mind, visualizing you having it, you owning it, you being it. Visualize you in that 5 minutes a day. If you can worry for 5 minutes a day, you can visualize for 5 minutes a day. If you can focus for 5 minutes a day, you can visualize for 5 minutes a day. If you can go to the bathroom with your phone and scroll down Facebook things for 5 minutes a day, you can visualize for 5 minutes a day. You can vastly turn things around and create all kinds of interesting miracles, visualizing you having the thing that you want and becoming the thing that you want right now, not later. Right now. Picturizing. She's adding it to the Victionary. I do have a Victionary. Thank you for that. So for me, what is happening this Wednesday is every other Wednesday, we're going to be doing a guest. So we did a guest last Wednesday. This Wednesday, we had Vince Roundtree last Wednesday. This Wednesday, it's me. Next Wednesday, we have a guest. Then it'll be me. And so twice a month, we will be having a guest, and twice a month, you'll be dealing with my mug as we talk about stuff that makes life happier and better. I want to say that I'm excited you guys are here today. Usually it's much easier to go every single day from a standpoint of remembering, everything. But I'm enjoying this one day. And I want you to know the transformations going on. So during the time that this has been going on, the transforming, obviously I've written a book. I got the cover there. I got endorsements. I got to 19 miles. I started the season being able to ride 6 miles. Then we went to 10. We're up to 19. It's going a little bit longer every single time. I pulled the trigger and we ordered bikes a long time ago, but we have to wait for them because I want this specific bike. I got a Priority 600X is what I purchased, but the waiting list for a Priority 600X is a little bit longer. I am moving from being a mountain bike rider, which is mountain biking, which is dirt and up and down hills and, shredding stuff and having fun. I am becoming what they call an adventure bike rider. The adventure bike is about touring on the bike with panniers and gear. And my goal is to take the rail trail, the Great American Rail Trail from Seattle all the way to Washington, D.C., because there is no cars. There are no cars. This is the old railroad road that used to go from Seattle, Washington to Washington, D.C., and it went through those states there. And you can learn more about that if you just go on the Great Rail Trail site. You'll see the video about it on YouTube or whatever else. But in order to do that, I told you I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to model what it looks like to be in that transformation. And so, on the road, not quite sure yet how I'm going to do the coffee break show from the road, but I have a feeling my iPhone is always there with me, and I may be doing this show from the iPhone, but at least I'll be able to take pictures and show you guys sections of it as we go along and, really live in a way that is super transparent as we ride to where we're going and, see the places. Let's see. If you don't know your why, visualizing is almost a moot point. Yes, I understand my why, and I agree with that. If you haven't known your why, or if you have a visualization, you ask yourself why you want it. And I agree with that. But for me, I absolutely know. Oh, thank you, Robin. There it is, Priority 600X. These are adventure bikes. They're adventure bikes made to do touring around, and I want to do the touring around the country, but I want to show people this is what it looks like when you make transformation. It's not comfortable for everybody. It doesn't involve everybody. It involves you chasing your dreams and what you want. Let's see. Oh, that would be so amazing. It's like being on the trip with you. We're trying to get it so that there is a little bit of how we use GoPros or things like that, so we can go live and you can see what's happening. You can watch me face my fear of heights because, oh my gosh, one of the things that's on this bike ride is the trellises of the train tracks that used to go. But the reason, Amber, that I want to go on this bike ride is because the railroad went places the cars never went. There's no highways by them. There are part of the area that can only be seen, part of the country that can only be seen by airplane or what was going on that train past that. Now you can bike across it. So the biking across it, obviously the trellises have to happen and they drop. And I do have a fear of heights, but you're going to be able to see me work through my fear of heights and get across there. Because we are going to document it. This is going to be a company project. At the end of it, there's going to be another book, with pictures and things like that. And the whole thing, though, is about transforming your life into a life you love and a life that you want, and loving who you are, loving what you do. Like, I love to ride bikes. I love to write books. I love what I do for a living or a business. I love the people I hang out with. I love my friends. I have everything in my life that I love. And trust me, before you die, one of the single best gifts you can ever give yourself is to live a life that you love. There's so much pain in life. And we have the ability right now to drop deep and transform and do things that are great between our dash and to live the adventure of the life that you love. Yes, you're right. This is it. Let's see. Adventure bikes were a great adventure. Thank you very much. I agree with that. Looking forward to sharing your bike journey. Yes, me too. I'm looking forward to that too. I plan on getting a drone to take along for aerial shots. Yeah, this is how high it was. And Vicky made it across. I'm so proud of her. She's crying now, but she'll get over it. Let's see. Oh, so smart. Thank you. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's right. And this is what I'm telling you. This is healthy risk. The healthy risk of being able to jump out and do something really great. The transformation timeline. That's what we're working on right now. And every Wednesday, that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about all the medical and everything else, which I should probably do that now. It's so great that you can live your dream. Yes, we have to create and live the dream. And MJ, girlfriend, you are in that boat too. You are living the dream too. I'm telling you, you ain't fooling me. I'm telling you, she does. She lives that dream. She loves what she does. She loves the people who she works with. These are the things that you want to have. If you're looking at how to have or what you need to do to create those dreams happening, then you know what? That is thank you. Yes, because you, sir, you also live your dreams. This guy's been a professional traveler for like, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 years. I'm jealous. Professional traveler. I am for sure. That's right. I love that about you. I love that. You want to surround yourself with people who live the kind of life you want to live. And you want to surround, and what I mean by that is the attitude, the mindset, things like that. Yes, appropriately named, Robin, that transformation timeline. Yes. So I want to tell you, here's the thing. The cautions that we're working with right now, what we're working on as far as building endurance, I have issues right now with my right shoulder. Last year, we were coming down a mountain bike, and we were in a rocky area, rocky dirt, everything else. And we were coming down the mountain, so we're going pretty fast. And we hit a sand trap. And even though I have a fat tire bike, the sand trap took me out and I fell on this shoulder. And it's been a little wonky ever since. And we've been working on that. And also when we went to the doctor, my blood sugar is a little high. And they're like, you need to bring your blood sugar down. You have to manage your blood sugar when you're going on the bike ride so that you don't what they call bonk, which is B-O-N-K, bonk, which is all of a sudden you're riding, and all your energy's gone. And I told you about not listening to Robin, that last show or the show before that, where I bonked because I didn't eat something when she told me to. So the last time we went biking and she was like, eat this now, we were on the road and I don't remember, I think we had done 12 miles and I didn't feel hungry, but I shut up and ate it. And I could feel the instant my body reacted to the food that was put in it. I suddenly had way more endurance. And I think we did 15 miles that day or 17, something like that. So we're learning how to manage our body going that distance. And that's new for me. I'm like a sprinter. I go full out, I rest. Then I go full out and I rest. And here it's the endurance of what's the speed you want to ride, learning your body and moving from there. So those kind of things I'm learning right now. And I want to be able to get to the point where I have, by the end of this season, I have those things under control and I know my body and me well enough on that bike that I know how I feel and when I need to fuel up. And then, of course, the bike is going to be heavier because right now I'm not riding with any gear on it. And I need panniers and sleeping bags and things like that, all the bike gear that gets on there and be able to handle the bike. I got a kickstand for this bike just because of the weight of the bike on it. So That's what's going to be happening. And I want to let you know that's just kind of the update of the transformation. And I will be talking about this transformation so that you can watch and see how transformation happens one act at a time, one thing at a time. Pulling the trigger on your dreams you don't need everything all at once. You need to know your why and your next best step and be able to have the discipline to take those actions. That's really what I wanted to share with you today. And what I really wanted to share with you is, isn't this the most beautiful thing you have seen? Look at that. Coming to a bookstore near you. And that's what I have for you today on the Coffee Break Show. But I want you to know one last thing. That's right. Nobody gets out of here without listening to the music. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace out.